welcome back to another mastermind call with Every Move Collective. So thanks for being here. We'll be learning about building a community that actually supports you in your business with our guest speaker, Will Higgins, who has done this very successfully. Before I go on to introduce him, just a little reminder of who we are. Myself, my mom Eva, my brother Dylan run a top producing team out of Westchester County, New York, and Connecticut. We also support this organization of Every Move Collective at eXp Realty, which brings you these bi-monthly masterminds where we just come together to learn, network, build community, and really more specifically learn from the leaders of our industry. So thank you for being here. Hope you're having a great Monday, and we encourage you, as always, to be as conversational as possible. Use the chat, raise your hand, jump in, ask questions. I believe Will's going to be doing a presentation, but if you have questions about it, drop them in the chat, raise your hand. We'll have some time at the end for a Q&A. And most importantly, if you can turn your cameras on, we really appreciate it because it just really helps us feel like we're in a room together. And without further ado, hi, Will. Thanks for being here with us. Will is a former corporate sales manager who turned into a rock star real estate agent. He has built quite the incredible business here with us at EXP. He's been a speaker at countless EXP events and has just been a really true leader within our organization. And he really built his business around community. And I'll let him talk more about exactly what that looks like for him, but we'll really be talking about ways that you can identify and develop communities that align with your vision and will actually support you in, developing the connections, the referrals, and the business that you need to grow in real estate. So I'll hand over the mic to him and we can get started.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us today. Today I'm going to give you, this is going to be interactive, right? But I'll run through a quick little presentation and I'll show you kind of how I built my business. But this is more for, motivation versus education, right? Because we all can do it, right? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same motivations, right? Like if they could do it, I could do it. Like that's what I want you to leave here with. And I want to give you just a couple of simple tools that I use because I think the biggest tool as an agent, the biggest thing we can have in our tool belt is resourcefulness. And I'm going to show you how I was forced to be resourceful to build my business because my back was against the wall. So let me share my desktop. And let me present that. Sorry, I'm working off two screens here.
All good. We can see it.
Oh, okay, so can you see that screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. So this is a presentation I gave at Build in LA. The good news is you guys, this is a more intimate environment, so I can go in depth with some of the stuff. But just a quick intro. So my name is Will Higgins. I have been in real estate for 6 years. Got in at 2018, and I was in corporate sales. So I worked for the Union Pacific Railroad for 12 years as a sales manager here on the West Coast. And they essentially just, it was like being in the military. They would move me every 2 years. And I really had no choice, right? So you were voluntold that it was time for you to move. So here I am, with a young family and I'm moving around constantly. And I had a decision to make. And that decision was, do I keep moving around or do I take things into my own hand? And that was what I was faced with, right? So we're all faced with these decisions, Do I do these open houses? Do I take on this method of do I cold call? Do I do all these other things, right? Like we're all faced with these decisions and how you approach that will determine the level of success and just your overall experience, in this thing we call real estate. So that's where I was. I had to decide on what I would do. And in 2019, and this was February 12th, 2019, I got laid off from that job because I wouldn't move anymore. And I had a decision to make at that time. That decision was either go get another job and put myself back in the same situation or bet on me and really give this a chance, like give it a go and do the thing, right? So that's what I decided to do. February 12th, 2019, I decided to be a full-time real estate agent, and literally it was like the snap of a finger. I don't know if that's my superpower or not, but it was literally I forgot that if you would have talked to me that next week, it was like I never worked at that company after 12 years. It's like I never worked there, you know? So that's the decision we all have to make. So again, I have a decent sized group here at EXP, and um, I see the numbers. A lot of us are down on ourselves right now, and we all know the stats, right? Like one in every agent hasn't sold a house. It's like 50% haven't sold a house. And the stats are this is the worst year in real estate in 35 years. And again, it sounds good to hear it, but it still freaking sucks, right? Because you're still living it, you're experiencing it. So the stats are great, but we have to experience it, and we have to start taking action because what's behind us is behind us. All we can focus on now is what's in front of us, the future, and the actions and the steps you take now really matter. So when I built my business, I wanted to build my business. I want to work smarter, not harder. So I wanted to build my business on actions and steps that I could take now that would still be taking action even when I'm not doing anything. Like when I'm talking to you guys right now, I still have mechanisms in place that are marketing for me, right? So the message is now is not the time to give up, right? It's really time to hone in, focus in, and really give this a go because everything you do now matters. What happened last month, last year, this year's business, none of that matters. It doesn't matter anymore. We all get to start fresh. Literally, like everybody's comeback season is now. Everybody's comeback season is now. So, a couple years ago, I had an amazing, amazing year. So sold over $30 million in real estate, recruited 100 agents, and just had an amazing year. But guess what? I burned out. I burned out, and the last year and a half, 2 years, I haven't done much, So this is my comeback season too. So I really got back into real estate earlier this year and have been doing really well. But this is comeback season for me too. So even the people that you think are on top are experiencing things. And I think it's important that you hear that because we're all going through things, but it's how you react which is going to determine your experience and what happens in the future. Okay, so this is comeback season, guys. So you all know this guy, right? Who hasn't seen his ads? This is he wants you all to be a sales warrior, right? Like this is the guy that's saying, "Hey, I'm firing people if they don't have a six pack," right? That's extreme. We don't have to be that extreme to be successful in this business. We just have to do a little more than the competition. Here's the thing, it doesn't take much, right? So he wants you to be a sales warrior. I want you to be a marketing machine. So for me, marketing was everything. I'm in Southern California. Can everybody drop kind of where they are, what markets they're in the chat?
I'm glad you said that, Will, because I forgot to earlier.
Yep. Where everybody is. Let's see it. Let's see it. New Jersey, New York, LA. There we go. A lot of East Coast. A lot of East Coast. Cool. I spent some time again, like I mentioned, I used to move every 2 years. So I used to live in Rhode Island, in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, for a little while. I lived in Atlanta for a little while. I've been all over, guys, with this last job, and then I settled down in Southern California mainly because that's where my wife is from. So I came to Southern California and I didn't know anybody, right? When I don't know if anybody else has worked in corporate America, but when you work in corporate America, you kind of have your family and your job. And I was in a sales job, so I was gone, Tuesday through Thursday every week. So I didn't have much time to build relationships, So the only community, the only place, when I lost that job, I had a lifestyle to maintain, and to maintain that lifestyle, I needed to make $10,000 a month. So how some people get into real estate and say, "Oh, I want to make six figures." Well, I didn't want to make six figures. I had to make six figures. So I needed to figure out exactly how to make six figures in the fastest amount of time in a business where I didn't know anybody, right? I had no database. I had and family. Let's not even talk about that. Like right, family is the last sometimes the last people to support your business and use you. You know what I mean? So here are the three crucial kind of areas where I had to hone in on, right? Mindset, marketing, momentum. And in our business, guys, most momentum is like the eighth wonder of the world, right? So first, like what's your mindset, right? And my mindset was if they could do it, I could do it. Also, I didn't get caught up in the stereotypes. Like when I first got in, everybody was saying, hey, when you get into real estate, you're mainly going to work with buyers. My first three transactions were listings because I didn't buy into the stereotype. So what's your mindset? How are you going to be different, right? At EXPCon, Jeffrey Itzer, he said basically like motive like um if you want to be creative in this business, you can't do what everyone else is doing. You need to take a step back and forget what you learned or forget what everybody else is saying. How would you do it? That's where innovation comes from. How would you do it? And that's what I had to think about. Like, how would I do it? Right. So that was my mindset. From a marketing perspective, I had to generate clients. I had to generate clients and I had to make six figures like instantly, right? So how am I going to do that? I'm going to give you guys two marketing tactics that I used, that I still use, that work in this market. And then momentum. Again, like I said, momentum in our business is it's the eighth wonder of the world, right? Because once you get going, all the referrals, all the other deals that come, it's because that momentum you built up, right? In our business, perception is reality. So if people perceive you're doing well, you're going to get more, right? So those are the things we're going to talk about real quick. So the first thing, Instagram, guys. So again, I'm in a market where I knew no one. The only people I knew were the people at my gym. So I basically needed to build a six-figure business from my gym. Okay. And the gym I go to is called Orange Theory Fitness. So the stuff I'm going to talk about really quick, it doesn't just have to be an Orange Theory Fitness, right? It could be any community, but that was my community. So if name in the chat, guys, some other communities, right? So um, it could be your kids' sports, right? It could be your church community. It could be PTO, like drop some community. There we go. PTA, yeah, it could be some communities. There you go. There you go. Boom. Music group. Exactly. So all these things, they're communities. And you can set yourself up to be the real estate agent of choice, or the market expert in that community. And you would be surprised at once you close one, the momentum that starts to build up. So, back to this gym. So at this gym, guys, I sold $30 million in real estate over the last 4 years from the gym. $30 million in real estate from a small gym. And again, that's not all the business I did, but that's like the anchor of my business, right? Because once you serve those people, guess what? I started getting referrals and all kind of other stuff from that small community. So here are the five keys to basically becoming the celebrity inside your community. Okay. So find your community. So one of the keys, especially if you're going to use social media, is that community needs to have some type of community page. Okay. So this is my gym's page. So my gym is OTF Chino Hills. They have a page, right? So the first thing I did was I went onto that page and then I followed everyone in that community. So I followed everyone in that community. And guess what? So this gym is a class-based gym. So if the good news is if I go at 6 a.m. and other people go at 6 a.m., guess what? That's what time their schedule is. We're all creatures of habits. Whatever time you guys go to the gym, you're going to constantly go to the gym at that same time, right? Everybody post what time you go to the gym. Post that. you typically go the same time. So guess what? I'm going to interact with the same people every single day. So that's an opportunity, right? And it's a constant opportunity every single day. So what I do first is I figure out who the influence is in that community. And for the gym, it's usually the trainer, right? For the church, it might be the pastor, right? Or somebody in the church, right? So that person is going to be the influencer. So what I do is I get a picture with that person, I'll post it on my page, right? And then after I post that on the page, then I'll go follow everyone in the community because they might not know me, but they know the other person, right? So they're going to accept that follow. And then when they accept that follow, what I'm going to do then, because of the algorithm, I'm going to turn on post notifications for that person. So once I turn on those post notifications, guess what? Every time they post, I'm going to get notified because typically you probably you wouldn't get notified. So I'm going to get notified every time they post, and then I'm going to comment and like something thoughtful every time. And guess what happens? From that, we're going to start to build a relationship. And when I see them at the gym, I'm going to be interested versus interesting in what they have going on. And then from there, they're going to ask me what I do. And that's my opportunity to talk about real estate, right? But then that's my opportunities to also gather their information. So I'm going to get their name, phone number, email, and then I'm going to put that into my CRM. And then I'm going to follow up with them because I do a weekly email and they're going to start to get that. So now they're going to see me at the gym, they're going to see me in their email. Then they're going to see me on social media. So, boom. So now I'm building a relationship. I'm building a community of people that see me as the trusted source for real estate. And then eventually, after we've gone back and forth and they've seen me enough, that's when I go into the inbox and that's when I message them and say, hey, love everything you're doing with your family. I don't know if you knew, but I'm a local real estate agent. Would it be fine if I sent you some listings in the area just in case you or another family member is looking to make a move? And that's it, literally. So I did that every day, and my first ever transaction came from the gym because of this. First ever transaction came from the gym because of this. And I sold the manager, the lady that was running the gym. I sold her stuff, some of the coaches, some of the trainers, a bunch of the members, right? And then they send me referrals just because I follow this system. Questions about that?
Actually, Will,
Maybe not.
go ahead.
We're like twins. Um, well, just a comment on that because you said in the message that you send, you say, would it be okay if I send this for if maybe your family's looking or someone you know? I actually
Yep.
think that's really important because sometimes people get squirrely when they think that like they like have to give you their business. But if they're
Mhm.
just paying attention to your listings because maybe someone they know it would be valuable to them, then you're almost putting them in a helper role. And people like to be helpers. And I think that that can be really powerful to ask someone, not just for their business, but also like, who do you know that might need my help?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. And again, I don't make it about them, but then I'll eventually ask, hey, what about you guys? Right?
Right.
So that's worked out well. Any other questions about that?
Yeah,
Well, we
actually,
do
Will,
have a question in the chat.
Hmm.
yeah, and also just to piggyback on what Colby just said is I'd be interested to hear what you send out. Do you just send out actives in the area? Are you sending out solds? What do you, when, after you get their permission, what are you sending them?
Yeah, so I put them on my weekly email, and how my weekly email is structured is I do a market update. So I'll do a video, and I get that from this service called Blink Marketing. They give you literally video scripts every week. So I do a video, and then I do a luxury listing of the week, and then I'll do two simple articles, typically not about real estate, because here's the thing. 90 plus percent of the people in your database aren't going to be in the market to do anything real estate related, right? So I just want to be there when it's time. So that's the importance of the omnipresence, right? Because like I said, they're seeing me at the gym, they're seeing me on social media, right? They're seeing me in their inbox. So I'm always there, when they're ready. How many times have you guys had plumbing or something break and you can't remember the doggone last plumber you used, right? Because they're not good at marketing. And you're like, oh shoot, I gotta call another plumber. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just always there, because you just have to be there when they're ready.
Yeah. And someone did ask, how are you sending these weekly emails? Is it through your CRM?
Yes, through my CRM, correct. Yep. And if you guys want, I don't know if you guys are on Instagram, but if you follow me on Instagram and you just comment newsletter on any of my pictures, I'll send you the breakout of newsletter. Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have an all-in-one CRM where it does all of it. It's go high level, but it does it all.
Liz, did you have a question?
She's typing it in the chat. I'm
Oh, I
watching.
see.
Any other questions about this tactic? Yeah, I'm using high level. Yeah.
Go high level's great. We use it too.
Yep.
We also use KV Core. We use both
I use
for,
both. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yep,
Mhm.
same here. Any other questions about this? Why both? Because high level doesn't have a what they call that? The listings.
Yeah, KV Core is great for clients
Yeah, it
and,
doesn't have IDX.
listings and etc. If you're looking to grow a team or communicate with agents, that's what we use our Go High Level for. I can't
Yep.
speak for you, Will, but that's what works for us.
Yeah, so I could show them how I use high level um
Okay.
if we have time, because I think
Okay.
we're gonna have time. Yeah, so I can show you that. So high level is more of I consider myself a marketer more than a realtor. So that's why I use high level, because it's built for agencies and it's built for marketing. So that's why. And then KV Core, like I said, the only thing I use KV Core for uh, is on my newsletter. I have a button that says search homes now, and they can use KV Core. But I found in my business, IDX isn't a big driver for my business. I like to have a meeting with the people first before I put them on, send them any homes. So I'm not, I'm not a person I'm not doing Zillow and all those other things where people are coming into your world and they don't know you. People that come into my world, they know me and want to work with me. Stephanie.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for doing this. I had a
Mhm.
question. I heard you mentioned that in your newsletter, you do provide a market update. And I just wondered, how are you catering that to the people you're sending it out to? As I have several people in my database in different
Mhm.
locations. They're all looking for homes. Maybe it is the local area, but they're all different cities with different market conditions. Can you speak to that, please?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So it's very general. And then I let them know, hey, if they want something more specific to reach out to me. But yeah, it's more general. And again, a lot of these people, they're already in my world some kind of way, right? So there's a button at the top that says, there's a button at the top, search for properties, find out what my home's really worth, and then schedule a meeting. So those are the three hot buttons. And, once they click on one of those, that then I can personalize something to them.
Okay, cool. So you're not sending out these people, I'm sending out a market update to this city, and these people I'm sending it. So you're not catering it to where, okay. All right.
No, because it would be too hard. Where are you at, Stephanie?
I'm in Long Beach, California, and I'm,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so Long
Yeah,
Beach and
yeah.
the surrounding communities.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you probably have people in like Cerritos, you'll have people in Long Beach,
yep,
then you have Bixby, then you have different neighborhoods. So that would be very tough, right? Because I'm in
right.
I'm in Chino Hills, but I have business all over the city. So yeah, so that
Okay.
that, that would be super tough.
In
Okay,
which case, should I be sending out like, here's an LA County and here's the Orange County, like that, broad in
exactly.
general? Okay, okay.
Yes. Yep.
Very
I
good.
think
That
that would
that's been
be.
hindering my emails from going out, just that one thing alone. So thanks for giving me a solution.
Yep. Boom. So yeah, so that's exactly what you can do. Any other questions before I move on? Because this next one, guys, this next one's gonna be a mind blowing. This next one's gonna be mind blowing. All right. LinkedIn. How many people on LinkedIn? Raise their hand. All you guys are on LinkedIn. Well, I'm about to blow your freaking mind because this is LinkedIn is probably my number one lead generation source right now. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. If I can figure this out, I may even just show you live, kind of what I do. So, if you guys can see my screen, this is something called LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Is everybody familiar with LinkedIn Sales Navigator?
We actually had a LinkedIn expert come on and teach us in a mastermind a little bit about this, but I'm eager to hear how you use it.
Oh man. Okay. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator is literally the best $100 you could spend in your business. Literally like run and go get signed up for this. Because for $100, it allows you to search and segment LinkedIn. Because guess what? When people sign up for LinkedIn, guess what they're telling you? Where they work, their job title, where they live. They're giving you everything you need to know. And then most people on LinkedIn are employed. So these are our ideal clients. Literally, your dream client is sitting here on LinkedIn and you can contact them. So here we go. So this is what the interface looks like. So once you go in, and what I did was like I sell to a lot of nurses. Does anybody else sell to a lot of nurses?
Yes.
Yeah. Nurses have great income, right? So I sell to a lot of nurses. So what I did was I went into Sales Navigator. And then what I did was I said, give me the title, registered nurse, right? And there's a couple of other ones, RN, um, uh, licensed registered nurse. There's a couple of different titles, but you can sort by that title. Then you can also sort by the city. Then you can also sort by years of experience, right? So after doing that, I got this number, 620 people. These are literally my ideal contact. It's 600 people that I can contact like directly. So then from there, all I do is I message them all and I have a simple message, right? So, because I just need to get them to accept me. So my simple message is, something like, "Hi, first name. Um, my name is Will. I run a real estate office in Chino Hills, and I help self-employed or contract workers, purchase their first home. Quick question, first name. Any real estate plans over the next 12 months?" And I'm literally just boom, mass sending that out to people. And guess what happens? They reply. And then when they reply, um, then I get in a conversation with them. And here's the thing, most people are not, like I said, 90% are not going to be ready. But what I do is I get their contact information. My main job for the week is not to get somebody who's ready to do something right now. It's to get information to add to my weekly email that goes out. Because my weekly email is essentially my call list for the week. So I send out my weekly email on Wednesdays, and then on Thursday I go in and I see who opened that email, and then those are the people I put on my call list. Questions?
Pretty brilliant. Does anyone else have a niche with the types of clients they work with where they could really utilize this tool in a powerful way? You can jump in or drop it in the chat. Someone said I work with a lot of doctors.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna um I'm gonna close this screen. It's gonna get a little funky, but I'll show you guys firsthand. Boom. I'm gonna merge all my screens. My computer screen is like
I have a question.
my
I have a
computer screen
question.
is a triple wide. Sorry about that.
Oh,
I
good.
have a question for you real quick. Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I have a LinkedIn page and I found out once that I had over 260 views to my page, to my
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn profile. But I use video to market for clients. Can you give me any tips or input on how to use video on LinkedIn and kind of grow like that?
Yeah, perfect. So LinkedIn is amazing because what is this? LinkedIn.com. LinkedIn, people are going to see more of your stuff. So their reach is so much better than everything else, right? So if you're already connected with those people and you put that video out there and it's engaging, every time somebody engages with your video, it pushes it back up to the top of their screen. So people have a better chance of seeing your video content on LinkedIn than they do on Instagram or Facebook.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Omar also asked a question in the chat. Is there a way to mass copy that message to everyone at the same time opposed to sending 620 messages?
There are a couple of you'll have to do some research, but there are a couple of systems out there. It's just you don't want to mess up your profile. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you
Here we go.
send too many messages, it
Yeah,
like is not part of the algorithm.
exactly. Yeah, if you send too many. Can you guys see my LinkedIn?
Yes.
Look at all the messages. Like I could scroll for days because all I'm doing is sending mass messages, and then at the end of the every day I'm just going in and just replying to them, right? So look at this guy looking in Long Beach. I'll show you guys the original message that went out. Duh, 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 duh. So I went to HBCU and I built a lot of connections through that. So my first message was, "Hi, Richard, I'd love to add you to my HBCU network here on LinkedIn," right? And then boom, I said, "Hi, Richard, I see you also attended an HBCU. I graduated from Clark Atlanta. I worked in corporate for 12 years and stepped out on my own, built a career in real estate. I'm looking to help all my fellow HBCU graduates with home ownership or any real estate plans over the next 12 months," right? Nothing. Then I hit him with another one. "Hi, Richard, we're connected on LinkedIn. We both attended HBCU. I was like, hey, I got this great program," right? Then boom, appreciate you reaching out. Definitely know something. Interested. I'm going to share your info with my wife. He gave me his number. We met with him. Got him set up with we had a meeting, got him set up with my lender, and I'm working on him. But let me show
Awesome.
you how this works. So here's LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So here's LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And then I just go to lead filters, right? So somebody give me in the chat, somebody give me a industry or even a
Uh,
company, right? So look, I could do a company. So I helped a lot of people at, Meta. All right. So I could say Meta. I could say people at Meta, right? So now it's 62,000. I need to get this down. So people at Meta, I want people who maybe just started. All right. We got 11K. I want people less than a year. All right, now we at 2K. Now we're at a list, right? But you know what? I'm gonna do this. And let's see, Los Angeles. So now we got 56 results. Now, is this a list you can work through?
Absolutely.
Literally 56 people that I know make well over six figures, right? Like I have clients that Meta that make $400,000, $500,000, $600,000.
yeah, if this is something you'd use, just drop it in the chat and let us know.
So Will, do you do these personally? Because you think the return is best when your eyeballs are on it, or do you have somebody actually
Yeah.
responding for you?
Yeah, I'm doing it and I'm just mass doing it and I'm not checking every day, but maybe every other day I go in the afternoons and then I'm just getting in the conversation with people, right? Because this just starts the conversation. So I always
Yeah.
have a bold message or something of value, and then I just come in and I'm just responding to the messages and trying to get the contact information so that I can follow up with them and put them on add them to my database.
Excellent. Any questions,
Yeah.
anyone?
And I think it's so key like as you noticed, obviously he didn't answer until like the third message. So consistency
Mm-hmm.
really is key. You can't just message people once. I mean, think about all of the messages you get from someone on LinkedIn
Yep.
that you just don't answer.
Yep.
Consistency is really what makes you stand out.
Yeah. And then again, and the first message is so key because once they accept you, then they're in your network. They'll see all your marketing, they'll see all your stuff, right? And then you
Mhm.
can just freely market, you can freely message them once they accept you as a connection. And then you
Yeah.
can start to go after their connections. Like it's like LinkedIn is it. Like if you're, if you're looking for a platform, like LinkedIn is it, guys. This is where I do most of my lead generation.
And do you build a content strategy in to complement your lead generation?
Yeah, yeah. So I think my bio says that I help professionals buy and sell with ease, utilizing their, company benefits and all this other stuff, right? So I'm catering myself to a person that works with professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I'm just giving on here, I'm dropping videos, but then I'm also showing my success with clients in my reviews and stuff like that because it's more professional. So I'm not doing a lot of the funny stuff I do on Instagram just to pull, to get traffic to my page. I'm more thoughtful about the content I put on LinkedIn.
Yep. Awesome. I
It's
have a
a great
comment.
reminder, Will, because I'm on LinkedIn and we utilize it, to some degree of what you're talking about. But it's always something I forget about. I don't focus on it as much as I
Yeah,
should.
and that's why it's been so great because realtors not on here. They're literally not on here. They're everywhere else, but they're not here where the people with jobs are.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, that's my
Aaron,
time, folks. If you guys don't have any other questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I got contractors doing work on the house, so I'm trying to be brief and mute myself. Do you
Hmm.
do you do any of your listings and post any of your listings on LinkedIn to some of your
Yes.
as well?
Yep. Yes. Yep. I post that content on there.
I'm actually glad you mentioned that. Is there anything that you don't recommend posting on LinkedIn? Are there certain things that you just avoid, or you
Yeah,
just treat?
no, again, I don't post some of some of the funny content, right? Like, so my LinkedIn is for generating business, and my Instagram is generating real estate agent leads, right? Like I'm trying to build my authority as a coach on Instagram versus on LinkedIn. I'm getting business from LinkedIn.
Got it.
mm, yeah, that's a big distinction. Just kind
Hmm.
of using different platforms for different goals.
Yep.
It's really interesting. Yeah, I think one question that I have is, and Stephanie kind of touched on this a little bit in her comment here in the chat. I think a lot of times people feel almost hesitant to tap in their community because they don't want to be a bother to the people that they know because they don't want that to come between their relationship. So, how do you overcome that and really approach it in a way that feels helpful, not bothersome, and like can really lead to some results?
So again, it goes back to the beginning for me. When I say community, this isn't my friends and family, right? Because those people haven't really support. I didn't have any of that. I'm in a market where I didn't know anybody, right? I know my wife, she has family, but they aren't using me. So this is literally a community I tapped into, and all I've done is provide value. I provided value, 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 and then I just started to show the results. So that's another thing. Once I started selling homes and closing deals in the community, that's when people started coming and asking. But all I've done is provide value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you just
Yeah.
provide value and leave the door open for them to come in, right? Because I'm not asking them for business, but when I send out my update, there's a button that says start your home search. You know what I'm saying? So they choose when to engage.
Yep.
Yeah, that comes back to your original M, as in mindset, right?
Yep.
How
Mm-hmm.
you see what you're putting out there matters. It took me a while. I've been in the business a long time. It took me a while to realize that I'm offering value. I'm not chasing a sale.
Yep.
Yep. Did anyone else have any other questions before we wrap a little early and give you some of your time back to maybe get started on Instagram or building your community?
Everybody should go to LinkedIn and follow Will right now. I just did it actually. Well,
Yep. LinkedIn, Instagram, and then also I have, where's my presentation? I hate all these screens. I had a QR code that you
You have three
guys can.
screens?
Oh man, it's like a triple wide. So if I show you, let
Dylan
me show
has
you.
that, I think. Hey,
Let's
Will, I
see.
have a question. You mentioned that your group, your gym was small. How do you define small? 50 people?
Well, no, I mean it might be 400 or 500 people there, you know. Um, but again, I only know a small group, right? Because I go at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Got it.
So that's why it's important that that piece where I said you have to um know the influencer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's how I got the other people to follow me. Here we go.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. Thanks for bringing it back up. That's good point there.
Yeah. So you guys can scan that if you want, and then that'll give you some ideas on how to generate some leads from your community.
Perfect. And will we do send this recording out to everyone who attended? So if this is something that we can distribute to the attendees in that email, we'll definitely do that. And we can pass along your Instagram and any of the contact info that you want so you can stay connected with the people who attended.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you
That'd be
guys.
great. Thank you,
Thank you
Cole.
so much for
Hey,
your time.
hey guys,
Yep.
just one last thought. There's a whole world of agent referrals out there, and there's a whole bunch of us on this call. So you can start a community right here with the
Mm-hmm.
people on this call for agent to agent referrals. It's a great way to get some business.
Yeah, just take a screenshot and reach out to everyone on Workplace or Instagram or wherever.
We have our own little community right on the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Will. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yep. Take care.
Thanks everyone for participating. See you next in a couple weeks. Happy
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Will.
See
Bye.
Bye-bye.
ya.